Hello and welcome to another This OMG Fishing fly tying seminar. Today we're going to tie the green slime. This is typically an Atlantic salmon fly, but I'm sure that you could use it for bass, trout, or if you make it big enough you could tie it for pike. It's a very good fly, as I'm told. I have family and friends out on the East Coast that fish Atlantic salmon, and they've used this fly to great success. What I'll do before I tie it is just kind of go through all the ingredients for this fly. And typically what I'll do is I'll tie this onto a number 2 or a number 4 streamer hook, mustad. It's generally the size that seems to suit. Or there's also this here, it's a stinger deer hair fly, number 2 or number 4. I like this because it has a wider gape on it, which gives you better hooking capabilities. Or you can use a salmon fly. This here is a number 4 or number 2 salmon fly. These are great because they're pretty darn rigid, good for a good hook set. Tools that I'll be using are my trusty vise, trusty whip finisher, pair of scissors, thread. Thread I'm going to use is I'm going to use a unit thread in a 3/0, and this is chartreuse, or you can use it in white. Doesn't matter, both are equally fine. For the tail, I'm going to be using some white marabou, or if you want to make it all green, you can use a green marabou. I'll be dressing that up with some white and chartreuse crystal flash. And then the body is rabbit zonker. And this isn't just any rabbit zonker, this is cross-cut. You could use regular zonker if you wanted, but cross-cut tends to lay nice and flat when you're tying it, and that's why I'm going to use that. You can finish it off with head cement, a UV finish, or Hallie Hansen nail polish. Any of these will be, suitable for finishing your fly off. So let's get to tying one of these up. Okay, as I had mentioned before, I'm going to use a number 2 mustad hook. Right here, you can use a salmon hook if you want. You can use a stinger deer hair if you want. This one here is a 4XL. You can get 5 or 7XL depending on how long you want that body to be. And I'm going to do this one with chartreuse thread. I'm going to put down my base here. Snip that off. Oops. I think it's probably time for a new vise, or one that I can get a lot more tension on. So the tail, I'm going to use some select marabou on that tail. You can use probably just a regular type marabou. I just happen to have this handy, and I tend to make that tail about as long as what that body or the shank of that hook is. So I'll just get that attached on here. If it's a little longer, doesn't matter. A little shorter, likely doesn't make a difference as well. So we'll just get that on. Snip that off. Kind of clean that up a little bit. There we are. Okay, so we've got the start of the tail. Let's make sure we have it even everywhere. I'm going to take some crystal flash, just a couple of strands, 2 or 3 strands, and I'm going to put those on here and tie them in on the side. It doesn't matter if they kind of go all over the place. I'm just trying to keep it even at the back. You can always come in afterwards and trim those up. Take those and the back here, and then just snip that off to the length that we need. Tie them in. And then the next stage of this fly is your crosscut zonker. And the zonker typically lies to one side, so I will clean a bit of that off, just so that I have somewhere for the hook to set into. Okay. Let's go cinch that in, tie it in nice, and it'll oops, sorry. The way that this fly lays will determine how you're going to wrap it. So either you're going to wrap it over the top or under the bottom. So this is tied in so that it'll wrap under the bottom. Doesn't really matter. I think it's fine either way. The fly will look just as good at the end. And you just palmer it over, keeping some tension. You can see I keep pulling my fly down on my vise because I'm trying to keep some tension on that just so that it doesn't come off. Then get into the end here, do a couple of wraps on that. I'll snip this off, pull that back, and just start to make a head here. I'm not going to finish the head off because I want to come in and put in some more crystal flash. This here is the green crystal flash. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just get a couple of pieces in here. I'm going to run them the length of the fly on the one side. I'll come in and I'll run it the length of the fly down the other side. Let's pull all this fluff back, and we will get our head going. It's not going to bulk up this head a whole lot. Let's finish off the head. Just try and smooth it out. Give it a whip finish. And actually, what I'm going to do is, that's probably good because I'm going to come in and just put some Hallie Hansen on here. Give that a bit of a body. And there you have it. Pretty simple. That's the green slime. Now an alternative is to do the body with marabou, which it's quite nice. It really thins the fly out a little bit, I think, compared to this one. So this is typically how I tie this fly. I'm just going to spin it around until the head cement dries a little bit and doesn't make a blob down in there. So as with all of my fly tying videos, I'm trying to just show you effective, plain and simple, easy to tie flies, and I think that this one here, it fits the bill quite nicely. I know that it works, and like I said, there's very few ingredients in it, and it's simple. So I hope you find, or I found this to be helpful and somewhat informative. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, a like, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, that'd be great. If you have any questions or suggestions for maybe other flies that you'd like to see me tie to help you out, that'd be great. Just send me a line. It's much appreciated. And remember, enjoy yourself out there and tight lines.